What's going on, Tamers? It's me, guy about to get dragged by the sweat lords in comments. And look, can I level with you for a second? I cover a lot of decks here, and admittedly, they're all pretty sweaty. So just this one time, can I just have it? I want to introduce a deck that you're not gonna catch a lot of W's with, but you are gonna catch a lot of L's. Love. There are some decks that I just build because I really like them, and I think they're super cool. So can I have this, just this one? Look, we'll go back to the sweaty decks later on, but can I just have this one time? Just this one? Before someone in the comments comes in and is like, hey, this deck isn't strong. Like, it can hold its own. It's probably not tier 1, but look, I like it. So, you know what, without further ado, let's get into it. So the deck we're going to be showing off today is a hybrid insect deck. Look, I'm a guy who likes beetles, and that's the entire reason I built this. Give it a try. Maybe you'll be a fan at the end of it too. So I did say that this was a hybrid deck, and for that reason, BT7 hybrids running rampant everywhere. We have to run 4 copies of Pokemon. This guy's so great, lets you search out tamers as well as hybrid Digimon, and then whenever you digivolve a tamer into a Digimon, you get +2 memory. Kind of nice. Alright, now that we've got the whack Pokemon out the way, let's get to the bugs. I'm a big Tentomon fan. You're going to see a lot of this guy in this deck, and the first set of Tentomons we have are the 4 copies of the starter deck for Tentomon. This guy, very old at this point, but super simple on play. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's green, put it in your hand. Next up, we got a different Tentomon here. This one was released alongside the Classic Collection, which I think releases in the winter out there on the inside, but it's already out here in Japan. Got the Flex alt-arted Tentomon, but the rest of them are all regular. No effects, but on Inheritance, whenever you swing, he allows you to reduce the cost of your next Digivolve into an insect or ancient insect by 1. Rounding out the level 3s, I've got 2 copies of BT7 Tentomon. This guy's not really noteworthy, except that his Inheritance lets you rest a 3000 or lower DP Digimon on an attack. So moving along, we've got 4 copies of the BT7 Borgmon. Again, it digivolves from a tamer for 2, and then whenever you play him, you can rest a 6000 DP or lower Digimon if you have a hybrid or a tamer in its sources. So not bad. This is, of course, a green deck, which means I'm going to be trying to spend as few play points as possible to build boards, and that is aided by my old friend here, Stingmon from BT3. This guy's great. Really cheap evolve for 1 for level 4, and then on Inheritance, once per turn, whenever you battle an opponent's Digimon and you destroy it, then you get 1 memory back. And the deck is a little slower than other hybrids, so I run a couple copies of the really cheap Kabuterimon. This guy's just there in case I need something to block a swing. And again, 1 Digivolve cost allows the deck to still be really cheap. Moving along to the level 5s, we've got 4 copies of Rhino Kabuterimon. This guy's great because if he Digivolves from a Digimon with Tamer in its source, the cost is 1 to get to the level 5. And on attack, if you have a hybrid type or an insect type in this card's sources, then you can Digivolve this card into a insect or a Tin Warriors type for 3 costs from your hand, regardless of whatever its actual Digivolve cost is. And then we've got 4 more copies for level 5 of the starter deck for Atsural Kabuterimon. As a side note, a lot of people are always asking online, hey, which starter deck should I get? And I think that the green starter deck is so good. There's so many cards that I think are just decently useful outside of the starter deck itself. And the fact that you're seeing a bunch of these starter deck cards in this deck lends itself to that. But anyway, this guy, Kabuterimon, no actual effect, but on Inheritance, really good effect in that anytime he battles an opponent's Digimon and that Digimon is deleted, then you discard the top part of your opponent's security. So it's kind of like Piercing, except that you don't have to worry about what comes up because no security effects activate. And then rounding out my level 5s, and I hate doing this, but I needed to have 9 level 5s in this deck just because I don't feel comfortable with 8. I've got 1 copy of the Classic Collection, Kabuterimon, who has kind of a weird effect. On attack, he can Digivolve into an insect type or an ancient insect type by paying its cost. So you can attack and then Digivolve during the attack. And then on Inheritance, he has an effect really similar to Stingmon without the 1 per turn limit, in that whenever he battles an opponent's Digimon and the Digimon is deleted, you get 1 memory back. Alright, so I've talked a lot about the level 5s and then being able to Digivolve for super cheap off of a Tin Warriors type or from an insect type, and that's why we have at the level 6 Ancient Beetlemon. This guy's great because anytime one of your Tin Warriors or hybrid Digimon battles an opponent's Digimon and destroys them by battle, then your opponent just discards the security. This effect is not limited to him. It is limited to any Digimon with those type specifications on the board, but it is limited to hard once per turn. So keep that in mind. Additionally, whenever he's deleted, then you get to summon a level 4 hybrid type from your hand, which is pretty cool. All right, rounding out the level 6s, I've got 2 copies of the Classic Collection Hercules Kabuterimon. This guy is really good because whenever you have an insect or ancient insect type Digimon battle one of your opponent's Digimon, this Digimon becomes active again. That is hard once per turn. And then additionally, for every insect or ancient insect type you have on the board, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. This guy is really useful because this deck really relies on interacting with your opponent's board, and sometimes they may present a Digimon that's just too big. So then the solution becomes playing out your Hercules Kabuterimon with a bunch of smaller insects to pump him up and allow him to swing over those Digimon. So like I said, this deck does require you to be very interactive with your opponent's board, and so to help facilitate that, I have 4 copies of Flower Cannon here. You can see this is the Flower Cannon alt art from the Ultimate Ancient Dragons starter deck that just came out here in Japan. I guess it should be coming out stateside, but regular Flower Cannons will do just fine. Same effect. And it's a green deck, which means I always gotta have 1 copy of Hidden Potential, just because sometimes I want to evolve my Ancient Beetlemon for 0, rather than just 3 off of one of the effects, or hard 5 if I have no other way of getting it out. The single copy of Hidden Potential is a really nice way to get to your level 6 for free. That's why green are cheaters. And then taking a look at some of the tamers, I've got, of course, it's a hybrid deck, 4 copies of Junpei Shibayama. This guy is great because anytime you Digivolve this card, you get to Digivolve for -1 cost. So in a lot of these cases, you have your hybrid types that Digivolve from a tamer for 2. He would make that a Digivolve cost of 1. And then on inheritance, he gives the Digimon Piercing, or Kansu in Japanese, which allows him to swing into other Digimon and still check security. So again, allows the deck to be really board-based and just swing into your opponent's Digimon while still clearing security at the same time. 2 birds with 1 beetle. And then finally rounding out the deck, I've got 2 memory tamers here in the green Kin tamer, allowing you to go to minimum 3 memory at the beginning of the turn. And then at the same time, whenever you would battle one of your opponent's Digimon and then destroy them, you can rest this tamer and gain 1 memory. And there you have it. So that's the deck. Again, it's not going to be catching a bunch of W's, but it is going to catch the love that I had building it. And it is a very fun deck to play. So if you like bugs, if you like Beetles like I do, and you just want to build something fun for Digimon, then I wholeheartedly recommend you give it a try. But yeah, before I get out of here, thanks for watching, guys. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 here. I'm almost there, and your support is very appreciated. At the same time, what are the decks that you guys run that, might not be tier 1 deck, but you do run them for just the love of the deck? What decks do you guys find fun to just play in Digimon? Anyway, take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. Y'all be good. Go on.